Good evening, everybody. Let me check my settings here for tonight. Good. That's good. Now I have to check. I'm gonna check this. What do we got? Why isn't that coming up on the list? Um, that's weird. I don't see. Don't know why that's not showing up. Okay, I think it might work now. I think Twitch was having a little hiccup. Bottom. Um, hey, Grammy. I'm just checking the list to see if I'm showing up in the Twitch list. Might have to give it a few minutes. Yeah, that's weird. It's not showing up in the. Yeah, I'm in the makers and crafting. Bear with me. I don't know if Twitch is having an issue at the moment. Oh, there I am. Okay. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. It just took a while for it to populate. Okay. So we're going to get into Granny Month. Woohoo! So tonight we are doing, and I don't like the brightness on that. Still don't like the brightness on it, but anyway. We're doing the 3D Daisy Square. Oh, first, anybody who was expecting a stream last night, sorry there was no stream because we had no power for most of the afternoon and early evening. So when it came back on, it was like a minute after I would normally stream, and I was not in the mood, so that didn't happen. But that's why we're having it tonight. So tonight we're making the 3D Daisy Square. It's a pattern by Let me turn my music down a little. It's a pattern by Ophelia Talks on YouTube. I've the link to the video, her video, in the description below on the page. So if you want to follow along hers, or you can follow along mine. So I'm going to show how to make this. You're going to need at least, you could do this with 3 colors, but I'm going to do it with 4 like we have here. And let me click on, okay. So we're going to start with our center. Hey there, Clemiko. How are you feeling? Oh, I got a loose thread. Oh, well. So we're going to start with this. We're going to start with the center, of course, because it's a square. And I am going to zoom in. And this is a good practice for magic rings. This was a magic ring. I could have tightened it up a little bit more, but it's fine if it's a little open. Eating crackers, drinking ginger ale. Oh, I'm sorry. I hope you feel better. So we're going to do the magic ring with our center color. We're making a daisy. You can make this whatever color you want, obviously. I went traditional. I went yellow in the center and then white petals, and then I have my leaves, and then the cream with the beige is just my border. So we're going to do the magic ring, and if anybody's crocheting along with me, let me know. If not, that's fine too. So we're going to review how to do the magic ring. So you're going to put the tail in your hand. You're going to wrap it around your 2 fingers, and you're going to cross them like an X, and then keep wrapping, and then wrap that tail. So again, we're going to like this, wrap it around, make an X, and keep wrapping so it comes up between your middle finger and your ring finger. So you have an X there, and when you turn, you got your 2 strands. You're not still waiting for Riley to finish bath time, then we have to get her to bed. No, I understand. That's fine. So we have our 2 strands. Put your hook, and I'm using worsted weight yarn. So I'm using my 5.5 millimeter hook, which I always use is like my go-to hook. You use whatever hook is appropriate for your yarn. You're going to put the hook under the first loop and over the second. Grab it and bring it up. Pull it up, pull that chain, that loop up. And then what you're going to do is you're going to, with your hand with the hook, you're going to pinch all of that, remove your 2 fingers, and you still have this formed right there, this loose ring. And then you've got your hook through that loop. You're going to chain twice. So that chain 2 will count as a double crochet. Into your ring, you're going to do 11 more double crochets. So it'll have 12. So we've got 2 there, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and we have 12. You can always go back and count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you've got 12. Okay, you can pull that tail a little tight. You don't pull it all the way tight, but you can cinch it up. And then you're going to slip stitch into the top of that 2 chains that you did originally. Here's the first one, here's the second one. In the second one, you're going to slip stitch to join. And now what you're going to do is you can tighten this up a little bit more. Make it as tight as you want. And then just do a chain. And now you can cut your yarn, leave a long enough tail. So you've chained, and now you're going to take that hook and pull that chain that you made, pull that through, and cinch it up real tight. And that is round one. So you just made 12 double crochets into your magic ring. Now we're going to switch to our second color, which is our petal color. The 3D part is the petal color. And I'm using white. Traditional daisies have a yellow center and a white petal. Now, I'm going to show is a standing double crochet. So this might be a little advanced, but you're going to make a slip knot on your hook like you would normally start a crochet project. And you're going to wrap once, like you're going to do a double crochet, and you're going to use your finger, and you're going to hold both loops so they don't come undone. So you've got two there, and you're going to go into a stitch. And then what you're going to do, you have the two loops there. You get two loops on the hook. You're going to bring that loop through. Actually, I did that wrong. So we've wrapped it. Oops. Come on. Wrapped it. We're going to bring up, get two on the hook, go into a stitch, bring up a strand, and now you can make it snug. Three on the hook, you're going to yarn over through two, and yarn over through two. Instead of doing the two chains like you normally would, this looks like a double crochet because it is a double crochet. It's just another way to join. So that's one. And in that same stitch, you're going to do 4 more double crochets. 2, 3, 4. Well, we have a total of 4 because our standing was 1. Now we got 3 more, so that's a total of 4. And then 1 more. So you have a total of 5 altogether. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you're going to pull your loop up, take your hook out, and insert your hook into the very first double crochet. Put the loop back on and pull that loop through your stitch. Pull it tight, do a chain, and you've made a popcorn, which we learned last month. And then what we're going to do, we'll just double check something. And now we're going to chain 1 more. And in the next stitch, do another popcorn. So we had 12 double crochets here. We're going to have a total of 12 popcorns. But between each popcorn will be a chain. Keep in mind, when you make a popcorn to finish it off, you do a chain to hold it. So that first chain is to lock the popcorn into place. The second chain will form a space between the popcorns. So go to the next one, and we're going to do another popcorn, which is 5 double crochets. 3, 4, and 5. And that music is a little bit loud. So we've got our 5 double crochets. Pull the loop up, take the hook out, go back into the first stitch. So the first of those 5, put the loop back on. Whoops. Okay, I got to redo that stitch. I pulled the loop out. Okay, so we're going to put it back into the stitch, the very first stitch, put the loop on the hook, pull it through, chain 1 to lock. We've made a popcorn. Chain 1 more, and do that all the way around until you get back over here to where you started. 2, 3, One more. 5. Pull the loop out. Insert it back in the first one. Put the loop back on. Bring it through. Lock it in place. One more chain. That chain that we do in between the popcorns are going to come in handy for the third round. Five. I'm on my fourth popcorn. We're going to have a total of 12. Again, the popcorn is what's making the 3D effect on this. So this one isn't going to have this block doesn't have a lot of 3D. I didn't want to have something way too complicated the first stream of Granny week. I mean month. Why do I say week? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Chain one to lock. Chain one more. You keep going. Four, 5. Chain to lock it, and then one more chain. Keep going. 5. Come on. Bring it through. There we go. That was to lock it, and then one more. Oh, I did a half double instead of a double. 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see, when you keep adding more, we are getting a daisy. Again, you can do this in whatever colors you want. If you want to make it to be a another flower that's has similar structure to a daisy, make it whatever color you want. And yeah, daisies do come in other colors, but I decided to go the traditional. Four, 5. Chain one to lock. One more chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10. I got 2 more popcorns to make. We're going to have an ad here in a second. I'm going to continue making the last 2 popcorns, and then I'll show you how to join the round when we come back from the ad. 2, 3, 4, number 5. Yarn split, yarn split, yarn split big time, so I got to redo a couple of those stitches. 2 more of those doubles. There we go. I got 1 more popcorn to fit in right here. 3, 5. Now I'm going to make my last popcorn. Whoops. Chain 1 and then chain more. I will be right back after this ad. Welcome back, everybody. So we've got our 12 popcorn stitches. Again, in between each popcorn stitch, there is a chain, one chain. So I've made my last popcorn stitch, and I just made my last chain. Now what we're going to do is we're going to slip stitch into the next popcorn. And where to do this is you're going to take the popcorn and move it, tilt it, and you're going to find that chain here where you cinched it shut, not the chain here. You're going to go into that stitch, which is right here, right there. And you're just going to slip stitch that to join. Do one more chain. And then we're going to cut our yarn, leave a long enough tail, take your hook and pull that string all the way out and tighten it up. So that is round 2. Pretty easy. At the very end, you can always weave in your tails now or at the end. I'm going to do it at the end. Now we're going to do round 3, which is the leaves. So I've got my dark green. And I know dark green is difficult to see on camera. I'm going to do my best to explain this. This is actually somewhat easy. We're going to start with a standing double crochet. And again, a standing double crochet is we're going to put a slip knot on our hook. And we're going to wrap. We're going to yarn over it like we're doing a double crochet. And with our finger, we're going to hold both loops. Then we're going to find one of those chain one spaces in between our popcorns. Put our hook in. Bring up a loop. So now we have 3 on the hook. 1, 2, 3. Yarn over through 2. Yarn over through 2. That's a standing double crochet. And then in that same space, you're going to do 2 more double crochets. So essentially, you've got 3 double crochets in there. And then we're going to chain 2. And I know it's difficult to see. So all I've done is I put 3 double crochets in that space, chain 2. And in the next space, we're going to do 3 more double crochets. And if you know anything about granny squares, the basic granny square is 3 double crochets for a corner. It's 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. We made a corner. So that is a corner of our square. Now in the next space, we're going to do 3 double crochets. So it's the basic granny stitch, which is, like I said, the 3 double crochets together in the next space. In the very next space, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to do 3 double crochets. So one space gets 3 double crochets, 2 chains, 3 double crochets. The next space between your popcorns gets 3 doubles. The next space that you come to gets 3 doubles. And now the next space will get 3 doubles. Two chains and 3 doubles. We've got another corner. The next 2 spaces are just going to get 3 doubles by themselves. 1, 2. I've got a knot in my yarn, but that's okay. We'll just work with it. We'll put it to the back. The next space also will get 3 doubles by itself. I need to pull up more slack off of my yarn. And then the next space is going to be a corner. So we're going to do 3 doubles. 2 chains and 3 doubles. And that's the pattern for this. The next 2 are each going to get 3 doubles. There's no chains between these groupings of doubles. So you do 3 doubles, and you go into the next space with 3 doubles. Now, the next space we come to is going to be our last corner. G, chain 2, and then we get 3 more. And again, I know it's kind of difficult to see with the dark yarn. And now we've got 2 more spaces, and each one of those are going to get 3 double crochets. 3, and then the next one 1, 2, 3. And then what we're going to do is we're going to slip stitch to the very first double crochet we made to join. We slip stitch and then chain 1, cut your tail kind of long, take your hook, pull it so that loop, that strand comes out of the chain, tighten it up, and that was round 3. So we've got our daisy, and then the round we just made acts as the leaves. If you want, you could do another row of green or whatever color you want. I'm going to use this cream color as a border. And we're going to do round 4 just like we did round 3, but it's going to be bigger. And round 4 is the easiest of them all. And we're going to do a standing double crochet. So we're going to put a slip knot, make that tail a little longer. Oh, I mean an actual knot in there. Let's cut the knot off. We're going to put a slip knot on our hook. Wrap like we're doing a double, because we will be doing a double. And then we're going to find, it's easier if you start at a corner. So you're going to you've got your wrapped hook, put your hook into the corner, get your yarn, bring up a loop, 3 on the hook, yarn over through 2, and then yarn over through 2. That is our standing double. And in that corner, you're going to do a corner. So that counts as 1. Then you're going to put 2 more double crochets, chain 2, and in that same space, do 3 more doubles. So there's our corner. Then if we look at the row below, we find those 3 double crochets and we find the space that's in between. And in that space, we're going to put in 3 more doubles. There's no chains between these groupings. The only chains will be in the corners, not in between each group. So you find the next space. Two and 3. We got another space. And I've got my tails from the previous row. What I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to take one tail and put it towards where I'm working and the other tail away. So I'm going to encase the first tail into this grouping here. So that helps anchor it a little bit. I'll still end up weaving it in. And now we're at the corner, and I'm going to encase the other tail, into the corner. So I'm going to hold it along my work, and I'm going to put my double crochets into that corner space like you normally would. There's our 3, 2 chains, and we're going to do, 3 more doubles to make our corner. And you work all the way around. 2, 3, third one, find the next space, get enough slack on your yarn, get to the corner, do again 3 doubles, 2 chains and 3 doubles. So there was our 2. That's the third double. Chain twice, and then 3 more doubles. Let me get enough slack because I got a couple more, 2 more sides to do. Do number 3. And I got a knot back there. I don't like that knot, but we'll just work with it. 2, 3, again. 2, 3. At the corner. 3. Chain 2. Do 3. And then you're just working in the spaces now. My last little grouping here. And then all you do to finish is you slip stitch into the top of your very first double crochet there. To join, chain 1, cut your tail, pull it through, cinch it up, and then fluff it up. And of course, weave in your ends. It's a lot of ends to weave in. And you got a little daisy, and you get a whole bunch of them. You can make a blanket, a scarf, a tote bag. You can even make a bucket hat, whatever you're gonna use. And they're quick and easy, and great use of scraps because you're only using a little bit of yarn in each square. Again, this is the 3D Daisy Square from Ophelia Talks on YouTube. Again, I've linked her video in the description. And while we're here, I will weave in my ends. A lot of ends to weave in. Gonna work them through. That one can be clipped. Finding a good place to stitch this in. Good. Try to weave these into the popcorns as best as I can so they don't come out the other side because we don't want any of the tails on the front. Come on. White ones should be good now. I don't like that knot that's there. I can't really weave that in, but we'll ignore it. This way. Good. This tail is a little short, but I did stitch over my ends on that round, so it shouldn't be too bad. Get it wherever I can put it, get it in there. Now we're going to do our cream, beige, or off-white, whatever color we're going to call this. I really like these offset bent yarn needles. It helps you pick up the stitch a lot better than a regular straight needle. That one. We can flip all of that. And we've got our little squares. Let me put my needle back in, because if not, I will forget it and lose it, and I don't want to lose my needle. Got my yarn bowl that I made for the other stream the other night. I'm actually going to make another one because I really like these. They're quick and easy, and they're kind of cute. It's also good practice for me for the magic ring, because I usually don't do the magic ring, and I really should. Again, I'm going to recap how to do this. You're going to make your magic ring. Zoom in a little bit. For those of you who are not tuning in later, or if you need a recap, so we've got our tail, wrap it around our first two fingers, create an X, turn your hand, and then put the working yarn between your ring finger and your middle finger to hold it. Put your hook under the first loop, over the second loop, bring it over like so, and you can pull that loop up a little bit. Pull your fingers out. You've got a ring, and you've got your tail here is twisted around. Put your working yarn in your hand, however you tension it, and then hold where all of this meets. Hold here and chain two. That counts as a single double crochet, and then you're going to put 11 more double crochets into that ring. And if I can get the yarn to work with me, you have a total of 12. 3, 4, and I'm getting snagged. And I got a little bit of yellow yarn left over, so again, this is really good for scraps. That's total of 4 so far. 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12. Let me just double check. It's always good to count the V's on the outer side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. You can pull this tight a little bit. Doesn't have to be all the way tight. And again, we're just going to slip stitch into that first chain that we made, the second chain up, so not the first one, but the top of that chain. I can get that in to the chain. That chain's a little tight. That's not the chain. Okay, we're going to go in like this. That'll work. Slip stitch to join, chain once, and we will cut our yarn and pull it through, tighten it up, and now I'm going to tighten my center. So again, you're going to hold your circle that you made, but you can even put your finger over the hole, and then you're just going to pull. You can pull real tight. Don't pull so tight you break the yarn, and that cinches up the center. What I'm going to do now, let me get my needle back. I'm going to weave in as I go. Just going to weave that tail in through those stitches. Actually, I'm weaving through the front side, but that's okay. You really can't see it. Just pop. Now I'm popping over to the back. Can't tell what the front and the back is anyway. It's all good. So, cutting that off. I'm going to leave this tail for now. And all I have left of my yellow yarn, if I can, of this yellow yarn, that's all I have. So I can make a couple more centers of daisies just with that. Let's get back to our white for our petals. Again, to show how to do a standing double crochet again, I'm going to put a slip knot on our hook, yarn over, and with your finger hold both of those loops so it doesn't come undone. And then you're going to find one of your stitches. I'm going to go in the very first one right here, right next to this tail, so I can encapsulate that tail. I'm going to go in, bring up that loop. Whoops, I didn't do it right. I didn't hold that yarn over. Hold the yarn over. Bring it in. Bring up that loop, 3 on the hook. Pull it somewhat snug. Go through 2 and through 2. That's a standing double. And again, for this, we're doing a popcorn, so that counts as 1 double crochet. Put in 4 more in that stitch. Five. And then we're going to make our popcorn. And I will be working on this as we go into the ad. So I'll continue doing it when we go to our ad break, which will happen here real soon. So we've cinched it up. Chain 1 to lock it. So that's our popcorn. Chain 1 more. Now I'm going to keep my tail along my work. So I'm going to work this tail into my popcorns. And I will be back right after these messages. Welcome back, everybody. I've been working on popcorns. I've got 6. I'm going to make 6 more. Again, I'm just doing a popcorn in each stitch around, and in between each popcorn will be a chain. So I'll do a popcorn. Again, that first chain is to lock the popcorn in place, and then one more chain for a space. I've also been working over my tail from the yellow, so I won't have to weave it in at the end. Hey there, spoopy skeletons. How are you? Chain, lock it in place. One more chain. Now we're going to make our next popcorn. 1, 2. If you're just joining, I've already shown how to do the 3D daisy square, but again, I've just started another one. We start with a magic circle, and in that magic circle, we've done a total of 12 double crochets, slip stitch to join, and then you're going to put a popcorn into each stitch and in between each popcorn will be a chain space. So there's a chain space between each popcorn. I was waiting for your new sorting trays to come in for your diamond painting, but I was tired of waiting, so I started the diamond painting with with a cheapo tray. I've done diamond painting once, a little bit of it. I've never finished it. I like the idea of it. It's a little too tedious for me. I mean, with that said, in July, I do have a beading project that I'm going to show how to do, which can be a little tedious, but not so much. But I like the idea of it. And with me, I'd be like this, and I'm hunched over trying to place all the little pieces, and then I get shoulder pain on my back. Love tedious because it's repetitive motion that requires no thinking. Yeah, I do like repetitive things, like especially granny squares going around and around and around. But sometimes that's just the diamond painting is just a little too tedious. Okay, I'm gonna make certain I have 12 petals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I gotta get 3 more petals in here, which I can do because there's 3 more stitches. Yeah, I've got a project coming up that I'm going to show in July. It's a, well, I'm going to have to come up with a couple other ones, but the first one is a beaded crochet project. Actually, to make beaded crochet jewelry. Yes, jewelry. Or I knew Grammy would like that. Grammy has seen the beaded crochet necklaces and bracelets that I've made. They're fun to make and they're very tactile. They're fun to like hold, and I don't know about wearing because I would definitely never wear anything like that. But they're pretty cool. So that's coming up in July. I want to try to branch out so it's not all traditional crochet. I want to try some other things. I got some other ideas, but I don't really have like a setup for some of them. The camera setup doesn't really work for me. So now I'm just going to slip stitch to join to my first popcorn. I got to find where that stitch is. There we go. Slip stitch and then chain 1. Now we're going to cut, pull through, cinch up. We've got our little daisy. That first tail, for when I made the standing double crochet here, I will weave it in because I couldn't really stitch over it because it was a standing double crochet. So I'm just gonna do it as I go so there's none to do actually when it's finished. I can get the yarn to pull through. I'm going to leave that tail when I join. I'm going to leave that because I'm going to stitch it in when I do the next round. And that round, when I cinch that one up, I cinch that one up tighter than I did that one or that one. So there are degrees of how tight you want it. You don't have to have it completely stitched shut, but if you really want it stitched shut, that's where the magic ring comes in handy. Let me get something to drink. And we're going to join our green. And again, I know the green is difficult to see. Not only with the dark background, if I have a light background, it would probably be difficult also. So again, we're going to start with a standing double crochet. And to show how to do that, one more time, I'm going to put a slip knot on my hook, yarn over, and then with my finger hold both loops. I'm going to find a space between my popcorns, put the hook in, move the tails the right way so they're not completely irritating me. Okay, so just lost it. So we're going to yarn over, hold it with your finger, insert it in there, bring up a loop, pull it a little snug so it all snugs up. 3 on the hook, yarn over. Again, keep your finger there. Yarn over through 2, and then yarn over through 2. Sometimes it helps if you use your thumb and middle finger from your tensioning hand to get it in place. And now we're just going to do our granny clusters. So that's 1. We're going to put in a second double and then a third double, chain 2, and in that same space, 3 more. Split the yarn. Really split the yarn. Come on, let's get it together. Okay, chain 2, and then 3 more doubles. The last 2 rows of this, again, is just like a regular basic granny square. And I'm going to weave over my tail in the next space, doing 3 doubles. Next space also gets 3 doubles. Okay, that's 1 corner on a side. The next space will be a corner. So again, like if you know anything about basic granny squares, the same thing. 3 doubles. 2 chains, and 3 doubles. And again, the next 2 get 3. You just work your way all the way around. At a corner. 3, 2, and do my 3. Next space gets 3. We're at a corner again. And it's okay if your square gets all rippled like that. When we're done, we'll flatten it out. Last little grouping here. Slip stitch to join. I'm going to chain, cut, and then pull that chain out by pulling the hook. We've got our third round done, and now we can move on to our last one. Double check to make certain I got corners. And then the same thing, join with a standing double crochet. And I'll show it one more time for anybody who still doesn't know. Slip stitch on our hook, slip knot in our hook, yarn over. So we have 2 on the hook. Hold it with your finger. We're going to go start with a corner. We're going to put our hook in the corner. Bring a loop up through, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. That's a standing double. And then do your corner like you normally would for a basic granny. Actually, do the whole round like a basic granny. Just like you did the green row, we'll do this row. Hardest part was probably the magic ring, standing doubles if you're not familiar with a standing double, and the popcorn stitch. Everything else, pretty simple with this square. Okay, I'm going to take that one stitch out because I need to secure this strand, this tail in. So I'm going to put it along the work that way towards what I'm working so I can stitch it down. I got my other tail from when I started. I'm going to lay it with my work and again stitch it down when I do this corner here. It will just help with less work of weaving in ends. It's one of those tricks that you learn as you get more into crochet. Makes the whole process a little less daunting. Some people hate weaving in ends. I don't mind it. And a corner, so I got to chain 2 and do 3 more doubles into that same space. I got a knot. I had a knot in the green, the other square. Now I got a knot in the beige, but it's all right. I'm not worried about it. 2 chains. Coming to the last row here. Come on. Keep pulling this out and it kind of like rolls back on itself. Three. And now I'm just slip stitching to join, chain 1, cut, and then since we chained 1, we're just going to take our hook and pull. It'll pull that chain undone, and we don't have to worry about anything coming undone. It makes a little knot. Now, we got some ends to deal with. Not a lot, because we've weaved in most of them. The white we weaved in most of the way. I'm going to finish the white a little bit more. I'm just going to go through these green stitches, and it goes right there. That the green ones, well, I think the green ones might be okay, but I'm still just I'm gonna go back. Actually, no, we're gonna go right into the green here. Um, they would have been okay, but I'm just gonna, for reassurance, to make certain that they really don't come undone. Just a little bit of that. That should be good. Now, I don't know what I'm gonna do with that knot, but the my ends here. Go down like this. So, however long it took me to do that, didn't take me long to make a square. I need to weave in these ends because they're a little on the long side, even though it's a knot. Normally I wouldn't have the knot, but it's a scrap yarn, so. Okay, come on. It helps if you talk to the yarn. There we go. See? It worked for me. Now I can trim you and get rid of my scraps. And we've got 3 little daisies, and you can join them together however you want. If you want to do a contrasting color to join them, however. Cute and easy. Again, they're 3D because the popcorn stitches puff up. Put my needle over to the side. Wrap the yarn up. I think we're going to call it a night here. We can see. Oh, I know who we can go and raid. We will raid somebody tonight. But before we raid, there's a couple things I want to actually bring that back. A couple things I want to mention. If you're part of my Discord, which yes, I have a Discord, join the Discord if you want. The other day, I posted in the Discord a link in the YouTubers to watch. Um, the recent one that I posted in the Discord is a channel called Conscious Quilting. It's a good friend of mine. I know him in person. He is a very talented quilter, and he does very small, short form videos of free motion quilting. He did post a picture of an unboxing video of some fabric he got. Uh, hey there, Anna the Wallflower. How are you? So if you want to head over to his channel and watch him, he's just started his channel recently, and give me a second real quick. I will post it here in the chat. Give him a like or whatever. Follow him. It's a lot of relaxing free motion. Doesn't do a lot of talking. I think most of it's got is instrumental music playing. So if you just want something kind of chill to watch, and it's kind of repetition because you're seeing him do his motion with the sewing machine, support him. Also, I'm going to give you a little sneak peek for tomorrow. Yes, you just got to work. I missed the whole thing. Yep, that's okay. That's okay, Anna. You can always watch it on the replay. And I had one, as an example, I made two of them tonight. They're real simple. Again, you can watch it, but I'll tell you real quick how to do them. Obviously, it's better to watch somebody actually do it. But real brief, it's 12 double crochets into a magic ring. And then into the magic ring are going to be popcorn stitches. But you do a popcorn, and then in between each popcorn, you do a chain stitch. So you have 12 of those. And then all the last two rows are regular grannies. So it's 3 double crochets into each space. But you do 2 of them here. So there'll be 3 in that one, 3 in that one. The next space will be your corners. You're going to do your 3 double crochets, 2 chains, 3 double crochets. And then you follow that around. And then the same thing for the last row. You do your corners where you have your corners. And then the spaces in between your little 3 double crochets, you put in 3 double crochets. It's real simple. Real simple. The hardest part is the magic ring and the popcorns. Everything else is real simple. Yep, real easy to do. Real basic. Actually, we're going to have a ad here in a second, but before we do the ad, when we come back from the ad, I will have a couple extra finishing announcements to do, and then we will go raid somebody. So like I said, check out the Conscious Quilting channel on YouTube if you want to watch something a little relaxing. And our preview for tomorrow night, we're going to get a little more advanced with our granny squares, and this one I really like. This is, I forgot exactly what it's called, but it's the peony square, like the flower of the peony, by a YouTuber called Yarn Andy. And it's a bigger square, and it is very three-dimensional. So it forms a little flower in the center, and you got a little bit of leaves, and then it's a double border. So we will go real depth into this tomorrow night. It looks complicated. It's a lot of double crochets. It's actually a lot of triple crochets. So that will be tomorrow's square. I like it because it's definitely three-dimensional. More three-dimensional than tonight's. And if you wanted, you could make tonight's a little bit bigger, maybe back another round, and you can piece them together. Do like a garden type blanket. So we will be back right after these ads, and when we come back, we will raid somebody. Alrighty, welcome back. Like I said, I will be on tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Eastern, 8 p.m. Eastern, and we're doing the Peony Square. And with that said, everybody have a good evening and happy crafting, but stick around. We're going to go raid Upcycly. She's usually in my stream, so we're going to go and see what she's doing. She's on tonight. So stick around for the raid, everybody, and I will chat with you all tomorrow night.